it's Jody at Ward's, and I wanted to share with you some popular ferns available that you might want to consider as part of our Houseplants 101 series. One thing about ferns is that they all require high humidity, so you want to consider that when you're making your choices. But otherwise, I'm going to talk about 3 different ferns and their unique characteristics. First off, we have the Maidenhair Fern. With its wiry stems and soft green foliage, it looks like a wild head of hair. Probably the most fussy, this humidity-loving fern could handle spritzing numerous times a day, and it would be happiest probably in a bathroom or near a kitchen sink. The Latin name is Adiantum. This species is the southern Adiantum. It's strictly a houseplant in the Berkshires of Massachusetts. Again, it likes high humidity and brighter light than other ferns. Fun fact, there's also a northern hardy Adiantum that can be grown outdoors. Here is the blue star fern. I've got it here, or Phlebodium aureum. Look at the bluish green funky shape of these leaves, and then if you look closely there, you'll see some fuzzy feet. That's where the rabbit's foot fern term comes from. This one can handle full shade in nature, so it would work in a bright room, but away from windows and direct sunlight. So it could handle maybe a northern window. The fern is like bromeliads or orchids and is epiphytic, which means it gets its nutrients from the air and from the water around it. The sturdy, elongated fronds, here's a bigger version. Look at this guy. It curls every which way with unique straps and spilling from the plant. A great, undemanding house plant, and it could soften a dark corner. Next up, silverbrape fern with the Latin name Terrace. It has an interesting fountain shape and unusual variegated foliage. This one likes bright light and makes a lovely table centerpiece. It is less fussy and can handle indoor conditions better than our first 2. That said, all ferns like high humidity. This silverbrape fern wants bright, indirect light year-round. Conveniently, it also thrives under fluorescent light, like in an office. Keep the potting mix lightly moist at all times, but this Mediterranean fern needs slightly less water than its rainforest cousins, so take care not to overwater it. Next, I'll show you how to increase the humidity around your plants. Most ferns and other houseplants are native to subtropical regions of the world where relative humidity is very high. So, in order to increase the humidity, we could turn on a humidifier in the room, or we could use what we're calling a humidity tray. The dry air of the houses indoors during the winter can really do a number on your ferns. So we definitely encourage you to use a dish like this, or similar, about 1 inch in depth, filled with stones of a uniform size. You then fill it with water. But you still want to have some stones above the water line, not too much water. The reason is you'll be centering your pot right over that bed of stones. What this does is the water evaporates and creates an envelope of humidity around your plant. You'll see that I filled it up almost to the top, but there's still a little bit of space between the top stones and the water level. That way, when you put your plant on top of the stones, the plant potting medium will not touch the water. If it touches the water, the potting medium can absorb it and the soil can get too soggy, which will rot out your roots. Yuck. So to recap, we've talked about 3 ferns here today. We have the Maidenhair Fern, which likes the bright indirect light, lots of misting, and our humidity tray. We have the blue star or rabbit's foot fern, wild blue-gray foliage, likes bright indirect light away from a window and even in a darker corner. And we have the silver brake fern, which can handle even fluorescent light of indoors, would enjoy sitting on a table, bright indirect light, but maybe a little less water than our other two. Thank you for tuning in for Ward's Houseplants 101. Know that you can download any of the tip sheets of any of our houseplant series from the website, wardsnursery.com. We'll see you soon.